it. I think it probably is pretty simple though.
All you need is the essays, and then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on, and we can be all done.
We have some minutes to approve too, don't we?
I think we did put some minutes in, yeah.
Yeah, the consent agenda. Well, let's call the Grand Marais Public Utilities Commission meeting to order. And first item on the agenda is consent agenda. Any questions with that?
Oh.
We have a motion to approve the minutes, pay the bills, and set the agenda.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Passos. I'll second that. Commissioner Kennedy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, and I guess the way we do this is to do a roll call vote. Commissioner Passos?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Kennedy? Aye. Motion passed. Next item on the agenda is the ranking of the UC scholarships. I had a chance to read through. Nice to see that we've had 5, but I don't think we've had that many applications in a long time. So I don't know if we've ever had 5, but I thought there were some nice ethics. Yeah. So how do we want to do this? I mean, I rank mine from basically 1 through 5, and I know in other years we've talked about trying to spread the scholarships around so more people got something rather than just awarding those that we thought were the higher ones. Any thoughts?
Well, I only ranked 3 of them because I thought we just had first, second, and third place. So sorry about that.
Well, we do. I mean, if we do it, what we've done it 2 ways. One, we've given them out first, second, and third, and other times we've kind of just split the money and given everybody it. But I don't know if we've ever had 5 before. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And some really good ones too. So
yeah.
Well, is there something that we publicized that we need to stick to?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you have to stick to it, but the awards dollar amounts were publicized.
And so it shows the first, second, and third place getting certain dollar amounts.
Yeah.
Well, we can go with that. I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, that means two of the essay writers aren't going to be getting anything. So, which you know, that's kind of the nature of a lot of the scholarships. You know, people apply and don't get them. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you want to go through the rankings, I mean, I could just tell you mine. I thought let's see. My first place one was number 3, my second place was number 5, and my third place was number 4.
And I had 5, 3, 4.
5, 3, 4. Okay.
So, but I'm happy to. Did George happen to send in a vote at all on this?
he did not.
No. Okay.
Well,
I'm happy to defer to the more experienced person on the commission on that. It's fine.
did you do one, Mike?
I didn't. And 3 and 5 were my favorite too, though, having read them. I don't know if I could discern a first place without going back and thinking about it.
Want to flip a coin, Patrick?
Sound good?
Hey, Patrick, who was your favorite?
5.
Oh, maybe we have something tipping the scale already then.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. You know, they're all good essays. I mean, I thought all 3 of those were good essays, and yeah.
Okay. So 5, 3, 4 then.
Sure. Sure.
Sounds good.
All right.
And this goes out to the newspaper too, right? We do a press release on this?
Yep.
Haven't we done
So-
this in the past?
Can we do the big reveal?
Yes,
Patrick?
please.
Sure.
Oh yeah, give me a second. So 5 is Ellen Calendar. That's what you meant by the big reveal, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay. 4 is Chloe Blackburn. And 3, correct? 5, 3, 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
3 is Peter Sutton.
Okay.
So it would be Ellen Calendar, Peter Sutton, and Chloe Blackburn.
Yep.
Great.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
Update. I think that's the only other thing we have on the agenda.
Yeah, if you didn't have to do that super important essay grading exercise, it really is. We probably would have just canceled this meeting because there's not a lot to update you on. So what we talked about before was some of the practices that city staff are taking, and those are about the same at this point. I guess the other thing we said we were monitoring is the financials, and looking back at our results utility billing wise in March, it's hard to see a real effect. There was a pretty high amount of past due in March, but that was from the winter time, not from any recent events. So if you look at April's billing, that would have been due to folks actually having employment issues related to the COVID emergency, and the April billing for this year is remarkably similar to the April billing from last year. So at this point, I don't think we've seen the actual impact on utility billing yet. I guess I expect that still to come. If we can discern anything from the numbers, we talked a little bit about the fact that the electric seems to be down pretty noticeably starting in March. We don't have an April graph yet, but when we do, I'll share it with you. And I think that we look at the numbers for April, and that does still match up. Water and sewer is a little bit higher than last year, and electric is just a little bit lower. And so that's to be expected, I think, based on what's open and what's not, and where people are spending their time. So far, things are going okay then. And what staff is talking about now is getting an early start on the 2021 budget by having a second look at the 2020 budget, really. And in the utilities departments, there isn't a lot of ability to talk about the budget in a different way than we've already established it. That there's not a lot of flexibility on the expense side of things. We can't just spend less time doing the things that we do. It's a pretty fixed program right now. So if there's any expense that we would look at not doing in 2020, it would be capital purchase type items. And we haven't developed a list of those yet, but that's something that we're working on and we'll bring into you for consideration. And then 2021, we're talking about it now, but obviously there's so many variables that you can't really know what's going to happen. And so what we'll be doing is looking at kind of a broad spectrum of possibilities. What if it's really lower revenue than we expected? What if it's kind of business as usual, and maybe something in between? So that's what we got going on now, and stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay. Mike, thing that we need to be aware of with the Highway 61 project in terms of any changes to the stormwater or any of the other infrastructure parts that the city, sewer and water stuff?
I haven't received any confirmation yet about the sanitary, but what I heard is that KGM will be putting in a suggestion for a reduced cost to line the sanitary through town rather than dig it up and replace it. But we had asked them for that a few months ago, and they presented an initial concept, but it didn't answer all the questions that we needed answered, including what do we do with the manholes, some of which are in rough shape. So they've since had some staff come through town and do an analysis of the manholes. And I think they have put together a plan, but like I said, I haven't seen it yet. They haven't submitted it to MnDOT. We haven't looked at it, but I'm hoping that we'll get some good news on that as well. Other than that, our staff completed the work that we need to do to relocate the electric stuff that was in the way of the highway project this past weekend, I think. And so I had 2 outages that were involved in that. And the most difficult place for us was overhead lines crossing the highway where near my sister's place restaurant, where the large culvert's going to be dug up and replaced. And we had a lot of stuff because it was crossing the highway at an angle there. Kind of a wide area of our lines were in the way and needed to be removed. And so that's out of the way now. And they are, as far as we're concerned, we're ready for them to proceed. And it looks like they're still planning on proceeding on the 18th.
Okay. And do you have anything?
I don't.
Mike, anything else?
Well, no, thanks everybody. We'll spread the good news to the winners of the awards, and
Yeah,
They'll be excited. Yeah.
that's
All right.
great.
With that, we are adjourned.
All right.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you all.
Bye.